Hey, what's going on today, folks? Johnny P here again. And yeah, so today I just wanted to talk about, I know I've been hitting a lot on, carnivore itself. I've lost 165 pounds on this diet. I lost it in about 9.5, 10 months, and I've kept it off, for about 11 months, maybe around right about a year. So yeah, I feel like carnivore is the way to go. But on the flip side of that, I actually did intermittent fasting, and so I started out doing 16 and 8, and then when doing that, I actually coupled it with carnivore, and that's how I saw those amazing results. But I started with 16 and 8, and then after the 16 and 8, I actually started doing just OMAD, just 1 meal a day. And with that, I just saw amazing results. And I think it has a lot to do with kind of where you're mentally at. With me, it was kind of like all or nothing. That's why I cut out all the carbs. I couldn't just go like a typical keto. I had to do that subset, which is carnivore, with absolutely zero carbs, because any carbs at all, I'm sure I would have fallen off the wagon multiple times. But yeah, so it's with OMAD, or with intermittent fasting in general, it was kind of that same thing. Like I had to go all the way. And I've done like extended fast, and I've done all sorts of different fasts. I've done obviously OMAD, that's what I do now, and that's what I've been doing for the majority of the time that I've been on this diet. But I've done 48-hour fast. I've done 72-hour fast. I even did a 7-day fast with just water. Water and coffee. So with the fast, I typically do coffee with it, and then that goes throughout the day. I'll start off with a couple cups of coffee, and then I just have just regular water, bottled water, or I'll have like a LaCroix, a bubbly, any of those. Typically I'd stay away from those, not because they're bad or anything. It's just sometimes I'll forget them at my house, so I'll just drink what I have available, which is usually just bottled water, or in my thermos, or in my tumbler of coffee. And that's pretty much it. But the benefits that I saw from it, first of all, like if you just on its face value, like you just if you're doing OMAD, you just can't consume that many calories like in one setting. You just can't do it. Like I struggle sometimes when I first started doing. I struggle to to eat the pound of meat with the 5 to 6 eggs. Sometimes I'll have up to 10 eggs now. But it's one of those things where you would just struggle to eat that many calories, to overeat. So my protocol is still, right around 2,000 calories. Actually, since I've been training for this 10K that I'm doing, I actually, upped it to about 23 to 2,400 calories, still with meat, and eggs pretty much. And that's kind of how I've been getting my calories, with just protein and fats. But again, it's tough with that OMAD, and it just makes it like, if you want to do a calorie deficit, I'm not saying you have to do like keto or carnivore or anything like that, but if you just wanted to do fasting, you're going to see the benefits just on your ability to not be able to eat that much in one setting. I think that's what helped me out so much, is like I was getting full, I was feeling satiated with the food. So that really did really did help me. But I think just starting in with fasting, it's one of those things where you just have to embrace the hunger. Like it's just and I know that sounds so stereotypical of everyone who talks about intermittent fasting is embracing the hunger, but you really have to. It's kind of one of those things where, if you can get past that mental threshold you have of like, oh, I'm hungry, I'm telling you, this is like one of the best protocols, is intermittent fasting. And if you like start with a 16 and 8, or even a 12 and 12, whatever you want to do, just start something. And if you start that and you just slowly start closing your window, you can get it so where it's not even, it's nothing to go all day, first of all morning, then all afternoon. I eat dinner, so it's one of those things where I'll eat around 5 or 6 at night. And it's just one of those things where, that's just what I do. I'm not hungry in the morning. I'm not hungry, in the afternoon. But it's like slowly closing that window is kind of what made it easier for me. But I've known people who just get it in their mind that they're going to eat once a day. I figured out I would start doing that, but I was just hungry because I was still not eating terribly, but I was eating beef jerky for lunch, and then I would eat, you know, again at dinner, and I was still kind of on the, you know, actually I was still on my carnivore diet. So, or I'm not still, I had started my carnivore diet. So I was eating beef jerky, but I still, like, I think when I started, I still had, you know, the craving for carbs and all that stuff. So I was still hungry. And I think that's another thing. Like, if you're still eating sugar and carbs, it makes, at least for me, you know, I'm not going to speak for everyone, but for me, it just makes me hungry. Like, I have no idea why. I'm sure there's science to back it. I don't know the science behind it, but I just know for me in particular, if I'm eating carbs, I'm hungry all the time. Whereas if I'm eating a big meal, or something more satiating with higher protein, higher fats, like, I don't need, you know, to keep eating and eating throughout the day. It's just that one big meal, and that's what does it for me. But yeah, you know, I hope this helps you. Like I know there's so much to be said about fasting. Like, your body gets a chance to, you know, finally, you know, shut down the engines that, you know, that is your stomach, where it's just constantly going. If you're eating all day, snacking, it's constantly, you know, like, having to do things. Whereas if you just, like, give it a break, you know, fast for, you know, a longer period of time than just, you know, breaking your fast in the morning, it really does help you. And I promise, if you incorporate that 16 and 8 to start with, you know, eight of those 16 hours of you sleeping, and then, you know, not eating till, you know, 12 or 2, and, you know, in the afternoon, whatever you prefer, it does get a lot easier. And at least for me, I feel a lot better doing that, especially doing OMAD. When I'm just eating that one meal, I don't feel bloated or anything like that. And making that meal, you know, breaking your fast with something that's, you know, of substance, like, not just sugars or carbs, you know, but of, like, something that, you know, is nutritiously valuable to you, or, like, you know, at least to me, it's the meat, it's the protein, it's the fats. But again, I hope this, you know, if this helped, let me know down in the comments. If you have any questions, you know, comments or anything like that, just let me know. Again, guys, thank you for listening. I'll talk to you guys later. All right, bye.